Okay, Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Ashish Khetan of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ratan Sharda of the RSS, R Kakkar, former Mumbai Police Commissioner, first to end Sai Balaji, who's a councillor at the School of International Studies at JNU, and Chintoo, who's former General Secretary of the JNU Students Union. To Sai Balaji and Chintoo, tell us exactly what happened. We saw some of those pictures there. Were you in those protests? What was experienced? Just give us a first, quick in 1 minute, a sort of eyewitness account of what happened.
The JAC has called for a protest at the RSS headquarters against the Rohit Vemula suicide force because of the MHRD letters. When we got down at the Ambedkar Bhavan, immediately police didn't allow us to even reach the venue. They immediately barricaded us. So we started walking towards the barricades. First they pushed us, they lathi charged at the beginning itself. We somehow reached the place. They told us that section 144 has been imposed and you cannot go inside.
Right.
We said we are doing a constitutional right.
Right.
We are unarmed. We are peacefully gathering according to Article 90.
Was there any provocation? Let me put it to you this way. That Balaji, was there any provocation? Can you or Chintoo tell us? Because some people are trying to spread this report that there was provocation. The police did something wrong, but they were provoked to doing so.
Peacefully assembled, peacefully gathered there to protest against the RSS. We were only asking one thing: why was Section 144 imposed, and why are we not allowed to go and protest at the RSS headquarters?
Not the first time. We have
seen
historically that how police attack on women activists. They torture on them. They physically harass them. बाल पकड़ के उनको drag खींचना. It's a become phenomena. We have seen in the 16 December movement, in the Occupy UGC movement, and the same thing is happening in the Rohit Vemula's case, where we are fighting for the justice for Rohit Vemula.
And Arnab, I just want to add quickly one thing. This has not started right now. When we first initially went to the MHRD, we were immediately water cannoned that day. We were not even allowed to speak to the officials at the MHRD. Brutally from 4:30 to 5:30 that day, in the cold, they water cannoned us, didn't allow us to even protest at the site, and later kept us in detention till 9 o'clock in the night.
Just one point. If you pay, Sai, I just want to go to the nub of the issue. Mr. Ratan Sharda, I'll tell you what the nub of the issue is. The nub of the issue is those who are not BJP, ABVP, RSS, Sangh Paripar followers in campuses in our country today are being treated like enemies of the nation. Especially somebody is a leftist or has a leftist view or questions the RSS, Mr. Ratan Sharda, like these two students obviously do. They are not enemies of the nation. You are treating these students like they are a threat to national security. I think the people, Mr. Sharda, who are a threat to national security are the people who brutalize them. Why is this happening? The growing feeling is emerging now that students who are not RSS bhakts are a threat to the nation. Are they a threat to the nation? Should they be treated like this, Mr. Sharda?
Mr. Arnab, will you allow me a couple of sentences before you start accusing me of many things? First of all, in the name of whom these people are protesting, Rohit Vemula mentioned SF and ASA as the people who led to the downfall of his whole idea
now
of
the question is how they were treated.
All that.
No, and now the question is, Mr. Sharda, about the treatment.
And nobody took care. Listen to me. Arnab, this is not fair. This is not fair. This is not fair, Arnab. Let me speak.
Mr. Sharda, this is not about the Rohit Vemula case. This is about the treatment of the students.
Let me speak, Mr. Arnab. You asked me a question. You don't want me to answer. Where does RSS come into this?
I am asking you whether people like Chintoo and Sai Balaji are an enemy of the nation.
He mentioned ASA, SFI. These people victimized by Rohit. Now they are exploiting it. Now they are exploiting Rohit Vemula for blaming RSS, who was nowhere in the picture.
They have a right
to act as per what is done.
But they have a right.
Police took law into their own hands. They are blaming RSS. RSS is not in picture. So that is up to police. The same police went to the camp of Ramdev and beat people. One woman died. What was happening at that time? That means police they were provoked. There are videos on the internet.
Should I open up the debate?
These girls, these men were abusing. No. They were abusing police. They were abusing PM. What is that? So that means you will abuse PM, you will provoke police, and you will...
No, 1 minute.
हम लोग वहाँ पर थे.
It is the way to protest.
अच्छा, Mr. Sharda, सुन लीजिए.
Is this the way to protest?
Sharda ji, Mr. Sharda, listen.
Treated as a pariah. RSS has been treated as untouchable for 60 years. You are blaming us. You are blaming us.
The unarmed students.
Persecuted for 60 years. 60 years RSS people are harassed. Untouchable they were treated as. Now you are blaming us for putting them in a spot. RSS has been suffering for last 70 years. Who are they to blame us?
So intolerant.
They have dominated where they can oppressed RSS.
I'll tell you what I said.
ABP secretary was beaten up. From this same left
Mr.
people,
Sharda, I think Chintoo is saying something. Go ahead, Chintoo.
Molested a girl in TSS 2 days back.
Mr. Sharda, there are two students, they want to speak to you. What's it?
After the screening,
Mr. Balaji and Chintoo are responding to you, Mr. Sharda. Don't be intolerant, Mr. Sharda.
There is a case against them.
Mr. Sharda, listen.
There is a case against them.
Who wrote a letter to the MHRD.
They molest. You are asking a question, don't allow me to speak. You are being intolerant.
It was not.
You want to see what you will only allow me to speak. What want me to speak? That is not fair.
MHRD.
I am not here to take blame.
To HCU. And after those letters, the administration, without any proper inquiry, socially boycotted, and later on rusticated them from the university.
But tell me, did your people not molest a girl in TSS? Is there a case in TSS against these people who molested a Kashmiri girl because she was...
Mr. Sharda, I say stay restricted to the facts of the case. Now, 1 second. What are we talking about tonight? What are we talking about tonight? No, 1 second. Chintoo and Mr. Balaji. Chintoo and Mr. Balaji, I want to play the pictures full frame for a minute and speak over it. Viewers, I will play the pictures full frame, and I request everyone to listen to me in the course of the debate and let me speak over the pictures which I'm going to describe for a minute. I will next call. 1 second, Chintoo, please pull back. I will just want to describe the pictures so we know once again what we are talking about. In this video, some students are shown shouting "Sharam karo" somewhere near the RSS office in the city. There are policemen in the video and there are students from the ISA at JNU. We see the Delhi police in these pictures retaliate, and if I may say so, retaliate most brutally, with one student wearing an orange scarf being singled out. He is assaulted by the men in khaki, as well as a man in civilian clothes who's from the police, who hits him with his hands on the head from the front, while another policeman drags and kicks him on the head from the back, with one soon joining in. Subsequent to this, one of the policemen turns around and slaps a long-haired protester, a man, hard with his left hand, and then holds him by his hair and drags him to his left and drops him to the ground. This is soon after a couple of female protesters try to question about what they are doing. While all of this is happening, we see a Delhi policeman come in armed with a lathi assaulting the protesters. As the man with the long hair is being protested, we are seeing in these pictures being shown on Newshour tonight the screams of a young woman who is not on the camera but presumably behind it. And it is unclear as to whether or not she too was beaten. Now, I don't know who's going to say what tonight, but I get into Ashish Khetan and R Kakkar at this stage. But I can't stand up for this kind of behavior. No right-thinking citizen of this country, Mr. Sharda, including you. I see you put up a cell phone, but hear the other side tonight. It doesn't matter tonight whether this video is circulated by AAP members or not. People in khaki cannot brutally beat up students like this. You can't, Ashish Khetan now. This is a democracy, Mr. Sharda. You can't do this. This is a democracy. No citizen of this country will stand up for it. Ashish Khetan.
What I want to say, Arnab.
Ashish Khetan now.
What I want to say,
Mr. Sharda, Ashish Khetan.
No role to play.
Mr. Sharda, 1 second.
Ashish Khetan and
let's not allow this debate to degenerate into an RSS versus other ideologies. 1 second, Mr. Sharda. One second, Mr. Sharda. These students could have been the subscribers of any thought process. These students could have been the members of any student organization. What I see on the footage, on the video footage, are peaceful protesters who have assembled there, young students from college, educated, who cherish their freedom of speech and expression, who cherish their freedom from fear. And what we see on TV is
so they can break law.
No, Mr. Sharda, don't interrupt now, please, Mr. Sharda. No, Mr. Sharda, don't interrupt. Let Ashish complete.
On the ground,
nothing to do with it.
Mr. Sharda, you must hear the other side.
Holding her hair. Now, 1 second, Mr. Sharda.
Shazia will respond. Shazia will respond.
Let me just complete, please.
After Mr. Sharda, after Ashish. Go on, Ashish.
Now, when you
Yes,
After Ashish.
Now,
Yes.
Just 1 second, Mr. Sharda, I will just complete my point. Please, kindly allow me. Now when you see, these students could have been from any student organization. You cannot hide behind technicalities, section 144, whether RSS was involved in this or not, whether they were from ISA or SFI, it doesn't matter. As students, we have all been students.
Not involved, not
we
involved.
cherish the right to
Ashish,
defend.
not involved.
How can you so brutally assault peaceful protesters, innocent students, young, fresh from
Ashish,
college?
remember the same
How
police.
can you allow
Ashish,
men in
remember the
khaki to
same
assault
police.
them? And then how can
Baba
you
Ramdev's
come on TV and
You forget
issue
that?
this apology?
Baba Ramdev supporting Aam Party,
One second,
he was
one
beaten
second.
up.
Please, just condemn this and sack your police commissioner. Because if your police commissioner is so insensitive that he says that throughout the day he didn't get time to watch the footage, then shame on him. Then what is he doing as a police commissioner? We are all outraged. The entire nation is outraged, and the police commissioner says he didn't have the time to watch the footage. Then what kind of a police commissioner he is? He should have sacked this policeman. He should instill fear in his men. They cannot violate the law. They cannot violate the basic rights.
Mr.
They cannot
Khetan,
assault
your friend, the
freedom-loving
Congress
students
party,
in this fashion.
This
Your
is a
Congress
What is the message that you are sending?
This is
What
a
kind of a
country.
society you want us to be?
This is a country.
What kind
This
of
is a country.
national capital
Let
you
him
want
complete.
to give
Let
to
Ashish
this
complete.
nation?
This is a
Where your
country.
police
This is
is
Ashish.
running
Ashish, a
amok
minute. Ashish, a minute.
rampage.
Ashish, a minute. I'll tell you. 1 second, Ashish. Ashish, 1 second. Very often we say. Shazia will respond, but before that, Shazia, let me say this. Very often we say there is another side. There is no other side in this today. We are a country of young people. And the young people of this country have tasted democracy. You can't snatch it away from them. Can it be denied, Shazia, that the policeman is acting in concert with those dressed in civilian clothes to beat up the protesters? This is Gundaism. Can it be denied that people were so brutally beaten that they were slapped and then dragged by the hair before being dropped down forcefully by the Delhi police? Can it be denied that women policemen are conspicuous by their absence in this video despite women protesters being present? Can it be denied? How much will be denied tonight, Shazia? This is an example of brute force against a non-violent protest. Non-violent protest by members of the Delhi police armed with lathis. It cannot be denied today. You do this to young people, people will turn around against you. And I agree with Ashish Khetan today. Where is the Delhi police commissioner? And why is it? And let me say this tonight. Let me say this with all the conviction at my command, Shazia, that I don't think the Delhi police would have had the guts to behave with ABVP protesters like this. They are doing this because they would not dare to lift their finger against ABVP protesters.
But
This is a fact.
But they did.
But then why does this justify what they have done here?
But this has happened earlier.
No, what happened, Shazia? You forgot?
I was not part of any RSS organization.
Shazia, you forgot? You forgot? You were with the Anna movement. You were with the Anna movement when brute force was shown one night on Baba Ramdev's protest.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
Which side are you on now?
Exactly. And I have been thrashed, dragged, so many. So listen. So listen
so
to
what's
me.
going on?
You have to listen to me to expose for this when I express myself. I think peaceful protests are part of democracy, and I think this police brutality of any kind towards peaceful protesters cannot be condoned. One. Two, but the ideological warfare that is being made out to be, instead of the brutality of police and the very, very big lacuna in a law and order system, is what I have a problem with. I was not part of RSS earlier when there were protests, but I was still dragged and beaten up. And what all have we been through when I was part of the Anna Hazare movement? So how does Ashish say that just because they're part of non-RSS, that's why they're being bashed up? So you can protest. It's a
that's
system,
not what Ashish has said.
Which you have to look at, and it does not have to. Everything need not be seen from the prism of ideology. No, everything is not to be seen from the prism of ideology. But law and order, civil rights, constitutional framework.
I said, regardless of the political ideology they come from, regardless of their affiliation, we cannot allow the police to resort to such brutality.
But I kept hearing Ashish Khetan
for God's sake, they are students at the end of the day, and we have all been all kinds of political ideas during college days.
And the person is
left, right, doesn't matter.
long hair. He's not a woman.
All kinds of ideas should allow to be flourished.
So don't say there was a woman when there's not a woman. It was a man with long hair.
Outside the office
but
of
that
the
is bad as well.
And we have all indulged in this kind of adventurism as college students. assembling outside RSS.
There is no defense tonight.
Assembling outside police commissioner's office.
No, 1 second.
Doesn't mean that you come down
Sai,
like a ton of bricks on innocent students. A woman, I can hear her cries. I can hear the cries of a young woman being thrashed around, being beaten, being pinned down on the ground, unarmed, hapless, innocent woman. For God's sake, don't let this debate to degenerate into RSS.
I was just told it was not a young woman, it was a man.
Whether it is a young woman,
democracy, about
whether, one second,
we are not a police
the issue is of evidence. No, 1 second, Shazia, 1 minute. Whether it is a young woman, whether it is a young man, whether it is a child, makes no difference. We have direct evidence tonight, and Chintoo, I'm coming back to you. We have direct evidence tonight of the Delhi police beating up students with lathis with their bare hands and collaborating with some dressed in civilian clothing. This is a democratic country. This is not some Taliban country. You cannot behave like this and hope to get away with it. And I do believe here that there is some element of hate which is coming in the mix. You hate students who protest and raise their voice against you, and you cannot pass the buck. Mr. Kakkar, you've been a Delhi police commissioner, be a neutral arbiter in this debate tonight. Can you pass the buck when you collaborate with those dressed in civilian clothes who are openly caught on video taking part in the attack? There is no knowledge of any arrest as we put this broadcast tonight, be it of brutal policemen or with people dressed in civilian clothes or on video. Nobody is speaking a word, Mr. Kakkar. It is as if they are playing with the patience of the young people in this country, Mr. Kakkar. This is not policing.
Arnab, will you?
This is not policing.
TSS?
This is not policing, TR Kakkar. Tell me, is this policing?
Can I say something?
Mr. Kakkar.
TSA group molested a woman?
Can I
Mr.
say
Kakkar,
something?
Mr. Kakkar.
Mr. Arnab, I am surprised each speaker, including you yourself, you are all accusing the police. I would have liked if somebody had taught these students that there is something rule of law also. While the freedom of speech is there, must be maintained, must be respected by everybody. But once the rule says, the law says that, yes, I will tell you.
Rule of law.
If you give me
this video evidence of what I've shown before
you are not giving me an opportunity. Because you are not giving me an opportunity.
Okay, explain rule of law and then I'll take you, sir.
That you cannot cross a barrier placed by the police. They broke the first barrier. They go to the charge onto the police and get in a scuffle with the police. Now please teach these students that observe the rule, observe the law. You cannot take the law into your hands and then say that the police has misbehaved or police has brutally attacked you.
Mr. Kakkar, here's Sai Balaji. Mr. Kakkar, Mr. Kakkar.
Forget about Rohit. Many students have died. Many students have committed suicide. Forget about that. You are making a political issue. Police is not part of the political issue.
He's lathi charging thrice during the Occupy UGC
yes,
movement.
The former police commissioner speaking right now and telling you that there is something called respect the law. Respect the law. Teach these students that they have to respect the law if they don't want to get into this sort of trouble. They don't respect the law. They only want their rights. Unless they learn to respect the law,
when we have given everything in writing.
Now, if there are excesses, this is only a 2-minute.
It's not excessive. It's a clean.
You continue talking whatever you want to say. The question is, this is 2 minutes.
Tell Mr. Kakkar
film short. There may be other films also.
It is completely baseless, sir.
No.
1 second. 1 minute. Before you come in, Ashish. 1 minute. Before you come in, Ashish, I want to say one thing to Mr. Kakkar. 1 second, Mr. Kakkar. Mr. Kakkar, 1 minute. Mr. Kakkar, you've spoken. Ashish wants to respond to you, but you now need to hear me this. Mr. Kakkar, you may be a former Delhi Delhi
spoken.
Police Commissioner.
Ashish has
But
not-
if you are
Ashish
telling
has
me and hear me
intervened.
and then Mr. Kakkar,
Yes, I am
Mr.
the
Kakkar,
police-
you cannot
Yes,
make
I
up
am the police
allegations.
commissioner.
You cannot make
Therefore,
up
I do
allegations
what
here and
is rule
justify
of
the
law.
behavior that you're carrying out.
Democracy,
Mr.
you
Kakkar,
have
there is
every
something
right to
called the rule of
demonstrate,
law,
but you
and I
must
agree
respect
with
the
you
law.
there is
If
something
you
called the
don't
rule of
respect the
law.
law, this
But
sort of
Mr.
thing will
Kakkar,
take place.
Mr. Kakkar,
And
you tell me
when
tonight, and I will ask every
excesses
right-thinking
cannot be
Indian
looked
citizen
into
to
by
question this
somebody.
definition of a rule of law. If there is a rule
Let
of
every
law,
right
then you
thinking
cannot have
Indian
what
think
happened with the
that he
students
has to-
today.
that
Mr.
he must
Kakkar,
observe
Mr.
the rule
Kakkar,
of
now
law.
you hear me.
There is a rule of law.
Mr.
And
Kakkar,
that
hear
is
me then.
respect the law.
Mr.
You
Kakkar,
don't
tell
respect
me.
the law at all.
Tell me,
You
Mr.
only want the
Kakkar.
police
1
to-
second, Mr. Kakkar. Will you hear me now, please? I heard you with
Yes.
respect. Now it's my
Yes,
turn.
yes.
Now it's my turn, sir. Tell me, sir. Tell all the viewers watching the Newshour tonight. Which rule of law allows policemen to brutally beat people, slap them and drag them by their hair before being forcefully down by the Delhi police with women protesters being present?
Mr.
Which rule
Arnab,
of
you are
law
showing
allows
only
this, Mr.
what
Kakkar?
suits these
Tell me,
people.
which police academy do you teach this
Before
rule of
that,
law in?
they
Is there
brought
not a
the
method
barrier.
of dealing with protesters? Do they not have any human rights in this country? Mr. Kakkar, Mr. Kakkar, you tell me which rule of law allows this.
Also has the right to self-defense.
Mr. Kakkar, you are not the last
If you
word.
permit somebody, if you permit somebody and go and destroy,
Mr. Kakkar,
that
Mr.
must be
Kakkar,
avoided.
nobody is destroying anything. A non-violent
First thing is
protest,
respect
a
the law.
non-violent protest
And
is
then-
happening
then
outside
you
the
must
RSS
say-
headquarters,
You first
and it
promote
appears
it,
to me
get
tonight.
all
It
the
appears to me tonight that the police appears wants to be more loyal to the RSS than to the
If there are
constitution of this
excesses-
country.
Arnab, highly
They-
abusive.
and you
और
think
law
the
and
students
order
can
को
ever be,
violate करने
the
वाला अगर
students
कोई
of the
है तो
Marxists and the
पुलिस है।
leftists
Against
can
all
never be
Activists
peaceful.
को
They
10
can never
बजे
be
तक
peaceful.
पुलिस स्टेशन में
What does
डिटेन
RSS
करके
do
रखते हैं ये
with
लोग।
SF and ASA to do with it?
Now Ashish
It was a
Khetan
very
will
abusive-
क्यों नहीं
respond.
रखते हैं आप?
You want
कानून
me to
पढ़िए
show
ना,
abusive?
कानून
You
को
want to
पढ़िए,
show
आपको
abusive?
डिटेन किया जा
Will you
सकता
allow me to show
है।
this?
आप कानून नहीं पढ़ते हैं,
हाँ,
कानून
abusive
हमें
देखा
बताते
था।
हैं।
आप मुझे सुनिए कक्कड़ जी मेरी बात तो सुनिए। आप लेक्चर देने, आप मेरी बात सुनिए।
1 second, sir.
आप मेरे 1 second, मैं एक सब सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ कक्कड़ जी।
नहीं आप लेक्चर दे रहे हैं।
आप सुनिए मेरी बात कक्कड़। मिस्टर कक्कड़, लिसन टू मी। अरे मिस्टर कक्कड़, लिसन to me please. It doesn't stop there. You should completely understand here that the Delhi police under the BJP is acting in a manner no different than it did when the people protesting against the gang rape of Nirbhaya in December 2012 were beaten brutally by the same police force of this country. And it is acting in a manner no different than when Anna Hazare's protesters were cracked down upon, or when Ramdev for that matter was treated during that particular agitation. You are in no position to defend yourself today, Shazia, because you blame the UPA for the police's insensitivity towards the protesters, the manner in which people were lathi charged and water cannon. You know how the people of this country reacted to that kind of treatment. What I'm saying tonight is what has happened is inhuman.
No, it should
The
not
police
be.
has
I
to be
want
loyal to the
clarify one day.
constitution
All I'm
and not to
going
the
say is
RSS.
The rule of law is there,
No.
and it has to work both ways.
Please don't blame the
It has to work both ways. It has to
I don't know, Shazia, which side you're on today. An argument made of the rule of law to break the law, ladies and gentlemen.
But that doesn't mean
left and the right.
And now I'd like to get
allowed to go and destroy things.
Chintu is saying something now. Here, Shazia, Chintu is saying something. Go ahead, Chintu ji, boliye.
Taken to task on this.
They can't protest. They can't peacefully protest.
So that Mr. Modi is responsible for everything that is happening to everybody in AAP is something I will not buy.
This question is about the students. Don't make it political. You're trying to make it political and I won't allow you. No, I will not allow it to be made political.
Now you are saying
No, they have made it political. They have made it political.
Don't hide behind politics, Shazia. What happened is wrong, principally wrong. You know that.
The Delhi police comes from the BJP.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Ask the students that we are
Delhi
making
police
political.
reports to BJP
Arnab, if I
and
go to the
One second. Sai Balaji's turn. Sai Balaji is responding and Ratan Sharda on the other side. Ashish, wait.
Look at the Twitter.
Sai Balaji and Ratan Sharda.
Arnab,
Sai Balaji.
when UGC cancelled our scholarship, when we
Let me tell
impromptu started protest at the
Let me tell you
UGC
how
with
they
the
behaved with the
Occupy
girl in
UGC movement,
TSS.
police
They
lathi
molested
charge
her.
thrice.
They attacked the the students in TSS where they are in power?
Arnab, it is not the first time that it has happened. First they used ITBP police force to take the police to arrest the students, and they kept at Balswari police station. Later on, when we came back to the UGC, they lathi charged us. And similarly at the same time, ABVP protesters were protesting over there. And they manhandled the police, and there were two different kinds of treatment for protesters of ABVP and non-ABVP protesters. What kind of equality is police talking right now today? When they have used different kind of treatment for protesters
They
vandalized the bus.
Now on the debate, I get Shazia Ilmi and Ashish Khetan. Shazia Ilmi and Ashish Khetan at this stage of the debate, and I have a couple of things to say before that. Can I have Shazia Ilmi on one side and Ashish Khetan on the other, please? And I want a couple of things to say that. Shazia, a minute, I want to say something to you. I want to say something to you, and then I will let you and Ashish debate. I want to say something to you, and then I want you and Ashish to debate for the next 5 minutes. Now, Shazia, remember this. Those who don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. The fact of the matter is this, that in this case there is a failure to act. There is an absence of any direct condemnation from the top brass of your party. And this conveys the impression, A, that you'll pounce on the Delhi police for its brutality when another party controls it, but you'll remain mum when it happens under your administration. Are you silent now because it was near a RSS office that the protest took place? Are you silent now because the protesting students were from the AISA, a political rival to the ABVP on a campus? Are you silent now because the police was reacting in a brutal manner in response to a protest near the RSS office by students of the JNU? And please tell me, Shazia, you must hear me. You must hear me. You show me. Shazia, hear me 1 minute. Shazia, show me. Shazia, 1 minute. Shazia, stop. Please stop. Please stop. Tell me. 1 second, Shazia, here's a question to you. Here's a question to you. Here is a question to you, and you are not listening, and you are showing a great degree of intolerance on the program tonight. There are young people watching the news across the country that be thinking you're not even open to questioning. See, Shazia, today, Shazia, then hear me. I'm trying to make a point to you. Please remember this. Remember this point, Shazia. Please, there's one question. I take it forward between you and Ashish Khetan. Is there a part of the Constitution that I don't know about, but you know about, anyone knows about, which says that a student outfit whose political ideology does not agree with the RSS has no constitutional right to protest near the RSS headquarters? If there is such a part of the Constitution, please show me and educate all of us.
No, there isn't.
Is there any, okay, second question. Is there any part of the Constitution which says, listen to me, I want to know which Constitution the Delhi police is protecting. Is there any part of the Constitution which says, we've been in universities, any part of the Constitution, Shazia, hear me, is there any part of the Constitution which says that today an ABVP Students Union cannot protest outside the CPIM office? Or that the AISA cannot protest outside the RSS office? And you argument of Ratan Sharda that we in the RSS have been suppressed for 60 years and hence we will do what we want. Mr. Sharda, that can't fly. This is a democracy still.
I didn't say that. I said now they are crying.
What do you mean now they are crying?
Because they have monopoly all through.
No, there are no monopolies in politics or in public life.
So they will create violence. They will create violence.
Why can't young people protest outside the RSS office?
They will beat up.
Why can't young people protest outside the RSS office?
Why don't you cover that?
Why can't young people protest outside the RSS office?
Violence.
Why can't protest? Why is there a section 144 permanently outside Jhandewala?
And no role of RSS.
Why can't
the role of RSS was zero?
Why can't young people protest outside the RSS office? You tell me.
RSS got nothing to do with it. You cannot bring RSS in this.
Really?
Originally, even this whole case, RSS has no role.
Really?
Your left students forget that Rohit blamed them for his death. There is no propaganda. Let them be propaganda. What has RSS got to do with it?
Students have a right to be leftist or rightist. That is your choice. You can't impose your political views on people. I'm sorry. Ashish Khetan is responding. Ashish Khetan is responding. Ashish Khetan, now final response on this debate, and we go to debate number 2. Ashish Khetan.
No role in Rohit's case. The case was a SFI ASA.
So I heard you. Ashish Khetan.
You just tried to get chaos.
No, Ashish Khetan.
Arnab is playing with fire. Use the same violence against Baba Ramdev to win votes. Now
Okay,
they're talking about
sir,
it.
can I speak? Just 1 second, sir.
RSS, no role
Mr.
at all.
Sharda, 1 second.
You are bringing RSS.
Arnab has very rightly said, if we don't learn from history, we are condemned to repeat it. And I would add to that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. And freedom
That's what you
is
did.
ever
You joined Nehru. You joined Congress. You didn't learn from history.
During
you
emergency,
joined
we all,
They're playing with Congress
everybody,
against
every
you.
right-thinking citizen was
against which police beat
fearful
you.
of tyranny,
And you are
every
playing with
well-meaning
Congress, not this
citizen,
food seat.
even today,
And you are going to pay for
condemns
this.
emergency.
You
One
people
second,
will
sir.
understand your
Sir,
politics.
don't do this. People are watching you. Please, kindly, sir, allow me. I didn't speak over you. It is every time
Yes, let
there is a
them watch.
political
Let them watch a dual
dispensation
part.
which
Let
comes
them
into
see your
power. The
duplicity.
police has the...
Let see
the
our
police has...
duplicity.
1 second, sir, don't do this. Let me just complete. Let me complete. Police has this proclivity to bow down to the people who are in power, to do their bidding, to be more loyal than the king. Yesterday it was Congress, today it is BJP and RSS, tomorrow it will be some other party. Don't allow the police force to become monster, and I have seen a very perverted definition of the rule of law
So you
from
are
an
allowed to
ex-police
break the
commissioner.
law.
You mean to
Ashish,
say,
so left
if
can break the
students
law,
cross
left can
a
break the
barricade,
bones of ABP people,
the police will
left can
drag them
injure
to the
people,
ground, will beat them.
left can
Mr.
murder people
Sharda,
in their
don't
own
speak
areas.
over me. Let me just
That is
complete.
fine.
Don't play with the fire. Don't allow the police to turn into a monster.
But you are putting-
Don't
bringing
use
RSS
the
where RSS is
agencies
not
of the
involved.
state. Don't use the police force against your political opponent, sir. If you are using police against your political opponent, then there is no difference between you and
So
the Congress
let-
party.
let your
If
students
Congress had
abuse
cracked
people,
down on the peaceful
let your people
protesters
attack
at
opponents,
Ramlila Maidan,
left
today you are
friends
doing
support people.
exactly the same.
These left
You
people
are
have
not
beaten
any
a baby
different from the
student in
Congress
Kerala.
party.
Why do you keep saying these
They
left
have beaten
people?
What have you learned from emergency then? What have you learned from emergency? Is this your takeaway from the times of emergency? That you will become
learned from
even a
emergency.
bigger oppressor,
I respect
even
law.
a bigger
I will
tyrant
not
than
attack police.
Indira Gandhi was.
I will not attack police.
Is this your ideology?
I will go to jail
that you will
happily if I
become an
protest.
even
I
greater
will not cry
oppressor
like
than
this.
Indira Gandhi ever was?
Okay,
I will not
Shazia,
cry like you.
Use
Extending the
police
debate by
as
two
well
minutes.
as
It has to be
Congress used to do.
RSS, BJP. Get over it. Get over it.
Don't come
Be
into
fair and objective. Be fair and objective and call a spade a spade.
What is your objective? Why did
Be fair and objective. It is about police brutality. Say that. And BJP should be responsible.
Holding a responsible
But don't make it about RSS and BJP. First, Congress has done the same many times.
That
Just
what
because
has
you have
happened is
political...
extremely
No, just because there's a
unfortunate, and we need to
problem
take
between
corrective
AAP
action.
and
Shazia,
BJP.
come out and say that there's
all of
something
BJP
deeply
leaders
wrong
today, and I've
with the
seen
way
everybody's
Delhi
statement
police
has actually
become.
condemned what police has done. It is unfair to treat protesters like this.
You have not
It is
condemned.
unfair to
I have
treat
not
protesters like
heard a
this,
word of
both for any
condemnation
party
from
whatsoever.
Rajnath Singh,
And Delhi police
from
should
Home
not be
Secretary,
politicized.
from Home Minister, from Basti. You are going around defending it. You are putting out spin to it. Oh, there was a fight.
You would
there
like
was a
to
scuffle
drag.
between
Next you
two
say Mr.
two
Modi should
student
resign.
groups.
You are so
What are you
hilarious.
doing?
For everything Delhi police
You
does, you
are
want to
coming
put
out
it
in
at
the
Mr.
defense
Modi's
of
door, which
something
will not allow
which
you
is
to
so
happen.
brutal,
Which will not allow
and
you
which
to
has
do.
been so nakedly caught on camera.
I will not allow you to do
very
that.
rarely
And play
does
politics on
police
this.
brutality gets
Play
caught
with
on
the lives
camera.
of people
Today
and
the brutality
students
of Delhi
and use
police
them
is
as
on
pawns
camera.
for your political
I have
gain.
not heard a word
You
of
don't
condemnation
feel... Okay, Mr.
from Rajnath
Kakkar.
Singh.
All
From
right,
Mr.
Mr.
Modi.
Kakkar. All
Ask
right,
Mr.
Mr.
Modi to
Kakkar.
go on Twitter and tweet.
I want to tell you, Mr. Kakkar,
And
one second.
the
One second. The police has a motto. The police has a motto. The Delhi police motto is... The Delhi police motto, Mr. Kakkar on one side, please, and Ashish Khetan on the other side. Mr. Sharda, you say today the police says today, I would like to remind Mr. Kakkar. I would like to remind Mr. Kakkar, don't want to speak over you, sir. Remind Mr. Kakkar the motto of the Delhi police is Shanti, Seva or Nyay.
Speak against them.
Shanti, Seva or Nyay. And I am asking here with the pictures on the screen, full frame, please, once again. And the question goes to the viewers of Newshour across the country and 80 countries plus where this is being broadcast tonight. Is this the example of Shanti, Seva, Nyay? Is this protecting, helping and reassuring people when people are dragged by the hair and thrown to the ground? Is this an example of being courteous, compassionate and patient when police gang up with people dressed in civilians to batter protesters with lathis? Is this an example of being professional, calm and restrained in the face of violence? There is no visible violence from the students on the video. The only violence that is visible Mr. Kakkar, is from policemen and some of their allies in civilian clothes, and I am disappointed tonight that as well-known policeman, respected for his own background, that you are coming and justifying this hooliganism tonight, Mr. Kakkar. I am disappointed that you are approving of this, because you approve of this today. No citizen of this country will be spared this treatment.
Those can be looked into. But don't condemn the police every time. That's what
this is brutality, and brutality only has to be condemned. Brutality, Mr. Kakkar, brutality cannot be ignored.
Mr. Kakkar, rise above.
Cannot be ignored.
They cannot be allowed to go and destroy an office.
You are as much a citizen of Delhi as all we are.
Because I am no more a policeman, but I will
think like
remain
a citizen of Delhi. Don't think like an ex-police commissioner. Don't let your fealty to the police force come in the way of your reasoned judgment, sir.
Well,
today what we are seeing
is right,
condemnable.
Right to think
it's appalling,
right
it's pathetic. It makes me fear for my family, for my friends, for my kith and kin. What kind of a society are we becoming? The police we cannot trust.
Indulging in violence.
Can you trust this police force?
Is
Can you trust this police force? Are
you
kids going to some college in this
of the students also who were out to create a problem. Well, excesses, if there are any, can always be looked into.
Okay, say this then tonight, Mr. Kakkar.
Well,
say this tonight, Mr. Kakkar.
Wrong with
no, say this tonight then, Mr. Kakkar. One second. Here's a question. Here's a question. Here is a question. The question I have tonight before I wrap up is, the question I have tonight before I wrap up is this. One second, Ashish. Simple question before we close. 1 minute left. Over 1,000 tweets on the subject. It's a little after 9:40 p.m. I have one question. Mr. Sharda, zara sun lijiye meri baat. Aapko aur Shazia Ilmi ko aakhri sawal. Tell me tonight, that every time any group of students protest outside the RSS headquarters and they are from a non-BJP background and they are critical of the RSS or the BJP and they stand outside the RSS office in Jhandewala, are you saying tonight all students will be treated like this? ये एग्जाम्पल है, देख लीजिए, आप भी करना चाहेंगे, आपके साथ भी ऐसा होगा. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sharda, Shazia? You're saying this to young people?
हमारे साथ तो होता रहा है अर्नब.
नहीं, तो आप क्या रिवेंज ले रहे हैं?
70 साल से हो रहा है.
नहीं, तो what are you doing? You are using the state institutions to take revenge on young people.
No, RSS has gone to jail. कोई बदला नहीं लिया. We respect law. Arnab. We go to jail. We don't cry here.
Nobody is crying, sir. They are seeking their rights. Nobody is crying. These students are not crying. They are seeking their rights, Mr. Sharda. And I think the Delhi Police Commissioner should wake up tonight. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you.